Hi, this is Tim of the 1916 Company. Welcome and thanks for logging on. If you love this watch, email us Team Mosso at the1916company.com for purchase, pricing, and availability questions concerning this watch. Today, we're discussing a 2022 launch from Breitling in conjunction with Britain's Triumph motorcycles. This is the Breitling Top Time Triumph. Now, it's true that 270 pieces were made in a limited run specifically for Triumph owners. This is not one of the 270. This is the series production version, but it's identical in every way but the numbering. So 41 millimeters in diameter in steel, 15 millimeters thick, 51.1 lug-to-lug with a 20 millimeter spacing between the lugs. We'll throw it on my wrist, which is 16 centimeters in circumference. Because this watch is fairly broad across the wrist, it doesn't sound like it's that big at 41, but it wears more like a 43 because of the lugs. So I'm going to recommend this watch for wrist my size or larger. So 16 centimeters circumference, and up here's your calf, or I should say your cuff shot. And then we have across the wrist, down the barrel, and over the top. I was getting ahead of myself. It is a calf skin strap with a distressed grain in black, a contrasting stitch. You can see there's a little bit of broguing or leather stitched on top of leather, much like motorcycle grips or some types of gloves and saddles. It's a thick piece of leather. You can really see that on the sheer cut side with the lacquering for cleanliness and refinement. Calfskin on the bottom. You can see no crimping, no gouging, brand new Breitling factory strap. Breitling straps always feel more expensive than the watches would warrant. This is a good watch, make no mistake, but Patek Philippe calf straps should be this luxurious. It really does feel the part in the hand. The watch features a full folding clasp. It's a single fold with a trigger release, so it can't pop open inadvertently. You can see there's still a lot of packing stickers on this watch, like the first owner bought it and then chickened out and sold it before he depreciated the watch. Well, guys, they're made to be worn. Please wear the watch. The idea is that you're going to have fun with it, in and out without ever getting on your wrist. That's a sad fate for a watch, but you as the next owner will benefit. We have sharp angular lugs. They're inspired by the Top Time watches intended for professionals in business, law, technical trades, aviation, motor racing. Across the board, the original 1960s Top Time was considered to be a timer for people who had high-end applications in mind. And this is a good one, as you can see, inspired by Triumph motorcycles. It has a dial of ice blue, but with two distinctly different finishes. We have sort of an opaline outboard on the flanks and then a vertical satination. We also have a decent amount of luminescence, which you could see quite easily right here. And then the Triumph logo, a inverted triangle with piece of the Union Jack. We've got a tachymetric scale outboard. This is US market intended, but at the end of the day, units per hour lets you choose between miles per hour and kilometers. We also have little flanking registers with azurage patterns inside. And taking a look in profile, vintage-inspired pump-style pushers, and on the back, the image of a Triumph motorcycle engine. I'm suspecting, noting that this is a British bike, it's probably some sort of a parallel twin, and it's a cool look with a hand-drawn aesthetic. Of course, 30 meters water resistant. This is a sports watch for keeping high and dry. It's not something you want to take swimming, and it features what Breitling calls Caliber 23, which is a 7753, a version of the Valjoux 7750 architecture that's been rotated 90 degrees. And normally that costs you the quick set function for the date, but this has no date. So we wind up with a nicely balanced dial with seconds, running seconds over at 9 and chronograph minutes at 3. There is a stop seconds function. You can halt it, unidirectional automatic winding, 48-hour power reserve, 4 hertz beat rate, 27 joules, 5 position adjusted COSC chronometer certification. It uses a very well-tuned cam function selector. And then an oscillating pinion, which is an unusual type of lateral clutch that's common in 7750s but uncommon everywhere else, that makes for an almost vertical clutch-like seamless engagement system because there's so little play between the pinion and the wheel engaged. The watch features a glass box-style domed sapphire designed to evoke a vintage plexiglass. A very cool watch, whether you're into Brit bikes, Breitling, or just vintage timepieces with modern fit finish and materials. Reach out to Team Mosso at the1916company.com for purchase and pricing details.